generate no electricity. This same electricity, nothing generates more electricity than your ether. And specifically, when you lock it or braid it. When you and now it's just like this. When you don't have no ether on your head, you're not gonna generate no electricity, and you can't receive no cosmic downloads without no hair on your head. People that's bald head, they can't get they completely shut off from the cosmos. Hear me clearly. They completely shut off from the cosmos and a huge part of themselves. The more hair you get on your head, the closer you are to yourself. The more hair you have on your head, the closer you are to yourself. All right? The closer you are to the cosmos. All right? And I'm going to explain why, Now, the next phase up is actually having braids. Having hair on your head is one thing, but then getting braids. A person that has their hair braided will generate more electricity and can receive more downloads than a person who has hair on their head, who has ether on their head, but they can't, but it isn't braided. Why? Because when it's in a braided format, it's making a coil. Okay. And for you to understand the way coils work, you will have to understand the way the way metal, copper, and these different properties work as conductors with electricity. All right, so this is why a person with their hair braided will generate more charge than a person who has who has ether, but it's not braided. All right, because when it's not in a coil format, so it's gonna receive electricity, but it's not as strong. Think about a magnifying glass. Think about a magnifying glass. It's just like if you take a magnifying glass and you focus it in on a certain part of the grass while the sun is out, you can set the grass on fire because you're channeling all that photon energy through that glass on that one little part of grass. And that's I know a lot. That's an old science experiment you used to do as a kid. Take a magnifying glass when it's sunny outside and put it over some grass. The grass is set on fire because when the circle of the magnifying glass is what? Grabbing that much of photon energy and channeling it specifically on that grass, as opposed to when it's not a magnifying glass, all that photon energy that the sun is emitting from its chromosphere, all that photon energy that the sun is emitting from its chromosphere, the grass not receiving it to the point where it's gonna catch fire because it's spread out. But when you take a magnifying glass, you're channeling that energy. All right, so it's like that. So when you got braids, it's just like your hair is braided a little more to channel that energy. All right, but remember, it's just braided. So them braids they can come down. So that's why a person with locks, with their hair actually locked, it's the epitome of charging up electrical currents for the aura. All right? A person with their hair locked can master the elements on a level that a person without a lock never will. You know what I'm saying? A person with their hair locked can receive downloads that a person without a lock never will. This is a fact. Why? Because let's go back to the coil. When it's locked, just like a braid. When it's locked, it becomes an antenna. But unlike a braid, it's not coming down. So all the electricity that's being created from the chi, because you got to remember, first off, what is this? This is ether. This is not hair. All right, the human being species has hair. All right, they have the same follicles the dogs have. That is hair, and there is no metaphysical properties to it. Their hair doesn't connect them to etheric realms and the astral realms and other planets and stuff like that. Their hair doesn't do that. Their hair doesn't connect them to the entire planet. Their hair doesn't do that. They have hair. You have ether if you have carbon in your skin, all right? Because you are an ancient being. You are a god. So what you grow out of your scalp isn't hair. Remember, like when Yakub, a.k.a. Satan, a.k.a. Zeus, was creating the human being species, he only made them a replica of us, okay? So by him making them a replica, he gave them ether, but it couldn't be ether like ours, so it's hair.